need to just revise all these things. What is the basic need of transient analysis? Why we need it in power electronics? So we'll just go through it. Means whenever in a circuit you are having energy storage elements, they change their states. Okay, if sometimes it is connected to a source and then it is disconnected from the source, the energy storing elements, that is my inductor and capacitors, change their states. Means state means either it becomes on, either it becomes off. So once it will be on, once it will be off. How will be the on and off? It will be short circuit or open circuit. So what happens to an inductor? You know inductor voltage equation, V equal to L di by dt. So I can say that inductor doesn't allow change in current, di by dt. For some amount of time also inductor doesn't allow change in current. Similarly, if you take a capacitor, Q equal to CV, from that you get I equals V equal to Q equal to CV, I equal to C dV by dt, right? So from there you can say capacitor doesn't allow change in voltage dV by dt. For some small amount of time it will not allow the change in voltage until next switching occurs. If you don't allow switching, it will hold the same voltage only. So in case of an inductor, when we say it is uncharged, that means my inductor is not allowing any current to flow through it. It is basically open circuit. And when I say a capacitor is uncharged, that means voltage across the capacitor is zero. So it is acting as a short circuit. Remember these two conditions: initial condition of an inductor open circuit, initial condition of a capacitor short circuit. And obviously in steady state it will be just the opposite. So let us come to the picture. If you see, it is a DC source. We have a switch R and L. So we need the behavior of the inductor only. Resistor you can study it because it is not an energy storing element. It doesn't change its states. So if I apply a current, if I switch on this switch K, a current will flow through this as shown by I. Okay, as shown over here I. So it will flow in the clockwise direction. Sorry. It will flow in this clockwise direction itself. Now if you apply KVL, what you will get? From V minus IR minus L di by dt is equal to 0. So if you bring V on one side, you will get Ri plus L di by dt on the other side. So you can bring this V minus Ri on the other side and get L di by dt and do the normal integration. I am not going after the integration because you know all this. So dt is equal to L di by V minus Ri. Then integrating both sides, we get this equation. Okay, K plus T minus L by R ln V minus Ri. Now why this K term comes? Because I have told that this inductor changes its states. When the switch is on, there is one state of the inductor. When the switch is off, there is another state of the inductor. So basically there will be an initial condition for the inductor. So we need to get the initial condition of the inductor. So initial condition means T equal to 0. So at T equal to 0, what happens? Inductor doesn't allow change in current. And I am consider my inductor to be uncharged. That means current through the inductor is 0. So I is basically 0 over here. Current through the is basically 0. So if you substitute I 0 over here, this is 0 over here. So what you get? Minus ln by R ln V. And T is 0. So K is equal to minus L by R ln V. K is equal to minus L by R ln V. And then you substitute this equation over here, you will get this formula. Then do the normal calculations. What you will get is ultimately this equation. I am not going into detail of this, you already know it. So what is this? Basically it is an exponentially decreasing function, e to the power minus at. It is an exponentially decreasing function. I'll come to this after a small solution. Wait one second. Annotate one word. Yes, what we are getting is a 1 minus e to the power minus at function, and e to the power minus at is a decreasing function, and 1 minus decreasing means increasing. So basically what current I is an increasing function. What will be the maximum value? V by R. So it will start from 0, inductor is uncharged, it will start from 0 and follow a exponential equation and reach up to maximum value of V by R. So this is a charging current equation. So this is a charging current equation basically. Next. I'm not going into the time constant, you know it is L by R. Just a brief explanation over here. If I reach 5t, 5 times of t, like last day what I've shown during simulation, I have reached 6 times of t, it reaches 99.3% of the steady state value. So you can, if you take 5 or more times of your time period, it will reach almost steady state value. So 5t or more, that's why I had taken 6t. Now if you calculate the voltage across the inductor, I know the above circuit over here, this circuit over here is a series circuit, this circuit over here is a series circuit. So whatever current equation I have derived is flowing through both the resistor and the inductor. So if I find out the equation voltage across the inductor, it will be given by L di by dt, and in this I will substitute the calculated value of I, which is nothing but this one, V by R 1 minus e to the power minus R by LT. So substituting that and doing the differentiation, you will get an equation like this. So I have substituted that, differentiated, all this are done over here. I'm not going into detail. So V e to the power minus R by LT. So if you see, it is a e to the power minus AT equation. So basically it is a decreasing function. So it will decrease from which value? Maximum value V. So maximum value V, okay, it is decreasing by this dotted line and reaching up to 0 in some time t. So our current is an increasing curve, exponential curve, and a voltage profile of the inductor is a decreasing curve. This is what you need to remember while applied on DC transient. Okay. Next, in case of discharging, like in the previous circuit, what we did, I had shown a charging path. That means when it is charging, it has to be connected to a source. Now inductor is itself storing some energy. It is storing some energy from the source and storing in it. Now it has to discharge. So I have given a different path to it. So now this K point switch is connected to a different point. Okay, like yesterday's simulation, what we used, a switch S1 which had 2 fixed points A, B. So this is basically a single pole double throw switch, like yesterday we had used in simulation. One fixed point K, 2 throws A and B. When it is charging, this point is at A. When it is discharging, this is at point B. Now again we have to apply KVL in the circuit and get the equation. Now you can write directly KVL over here without thinking anything. Previously what was included in the circuit? V. Now what is included instead of V? It is shorted. That means ground 0. So on the right hand side, instead of writing V, what you will write 0. Okay. I'll not go by that long procedure of integration. Okay, I have shown a process of integration method. You can go by that. A very small method is there also. You have learned differential equation, apply it. This is the first order differential equation, di by dt, d to the power 1. So first order differential equation. How a first order differential equation can be written? dy by dt plus py equal to q. So its solution is given by, you may remember this because it is always required, y equal to q by p plus k e to the power minus pt. Okay, so from here if you compare this equation with this one, so I is equal to y, so I is equal to y, q by p, what is the value of q over here? 0, 0. So this part becomes 0 over here. Now k e to the power minus pt, what is p? R by lt. So k e to the power minus R by LT. Now what we have to do is find out the initial condition of K. So again we are finding initial condition of K. So T is equal to 0. Okay, so e to the power 0 becomes 1. So k becomes equal to I. But remember, before coming to this position 2, this k was in which position? 1. So 1 becomes its initial position. And what was the last state of the inductor when it was k was connected to 1? You can get from this curve. So it has reached maximum value or steady state value, that is V by R. So my current has reached a state which is V by R, that is maximum value. So inductor is basically short circuit. So you will get the current I equal to V by R. And since inductor doesn't allow change in current for a small amount of time, it will hold the same current through it, or it will pass the same amount of current through it. So initial current through the inductor when it has gone to the next state, that is 2, is V by R. But in the previous case, inductor was uncharged, so initial current was 0. So instead of I was putting 0, but over here instead of I will put over here is V by R. Okay, so V by R I will put it. Annotate করিস না, এই অসুবিধা হলে বল, annotate করিস না. I equal to V by R, so k is equal to V by R e to the power minus R by L into 0. Okay, next we put, you can follow this integration method, no problem, and go to same calculation. And you will obtain this equation as I. Now if you observe this equation I, see e to the power minus R by LT, so it is a decreasing function. From which point it will decrease? V by R. So previously if you see that the curve has settled at which point? V by R. Now it is decreasing from V by R to 0. So this is my current profile. Now if you calculate again voltage across inductor, you will get an equation like this. And if you plot it, you see the voltage is minus V by R, minus V, so it will go in the opposite direction. So I am going to the plot over here. I am just decreasing this. Now this is the current profile of the inductor and voltage across the inductor. Some conclusion should be taken from here. What? The current through the inductor can never change its direction. If inductor is charging in the clockwise direction, it will discharge in the clockwise direction. See, inductor current is always positive, but voltage across the inductor changes from plus V to minus V. This is the profile of the inductor current and voltage. Two conclusions. Once the inductor current doesn't change its polarity, okay, so its direction remains same, and voltage across the inductor changes its polarity while discharging. So if I draw inductor, plus minus like this while charging and minus plus while discharging, current direction remains same in both charging and discharging. Hope everybody remembers this point. This point is very important, and the expression for current. Okay. Next, going into RC transient. I'll be going through it very fast. Okay, same conditions. One switch is connected to your one point, that is my RC is connected to source. Capacitor is uncharged, that means it is open circuit, because capacitor doesn't allow change in voltage, so it is basically open circuit. So if capacitor is open circuit, current through this is 0. Okay, so if current through this is 0, the drop across the capacitor, this resistor, will be 0 again. So if I apply KVL again in the circuit, okay, if I apply KVL again in the circuit, what you will get? V equal to Ri plus 1 by C integration of I dt. 0 is equal to, then you have to differentiate it, because I am using differential equation. You can use Laplace to solve also. But if you are confident with differential equation, you can do. You can ask Mudassir, mic is on. If you have doubt, you can ask in between. If you can unmute yourself and ask question, no problem. Sir, don't send it by chat because everything is stored in chat. I want only roll numbers in chat, nothing else. If you want to ask question, you can unmute yourself and ask in between, no problem. So from this you just do the same equation solving, dy by dt plus py equal to q, arrange it and get an equation like this. If you see this equation, I is equal to k e to the power minus 1 by rct. Just go through it. I'll send the PDF to you. You can go through it, or you can revise it but through any books also. And current through initial condition of the capacitor. Oh, sorry, capacitor is basically short circuit. Sorry, my mistake. Capacitor is initially short circuit. So current through the capacitor through this circuit is V by R initially. Since capacitor doesn't allow change in voltage and it is uncharged, so capacitor voltage is 0 initially. So if it is 0, it is basically short circuit and inductor is open circuit. Sorry for my mistake. So next, I comes equal to V by R. Since it is short circuit, substitute it in this equation, T equal to 0. So K comes out to be V by R. So I comes out to be V by R e to the power minus 1 by RCT. It will be an exponentially decreasing function since it is e to the power minus AT and maximum value is what? V by R. Next, you can calculate your VC. If this is exponentially decreasing, if you integrate it, obviously it will become exponentially increasing. So VC becomes exponentially increasing. Now discharging of the capacitor, again same thing, change your switch to position 2, apply KVL, find your equation. You will get this, apply initial condition, you will get this equation. Okay. So when capacitor discharges, the current direction through it changes. So this is basically minus V by R, initial condition. So if you see the equation, it is again an exponentially decreasing equation, e to the power minus AT, and maximum value is minus V by R. So minus V by R to 0. So this will be opposite to it, V will be in this way. Now what I need you to remember is this thing. In IC and VC. So if you see this, capacitor doesn't allow change in voltage. So, and the polarity across the capacitor remains same. So if I take a capacitor, so while it is charging, it is plus minus over here, current direction over here. But while it is discharging, okay, polarity again remains same. But current direction changes. Okay, so remember this, very important. How will you remember? If you can't understand capacitor or anything, you should remember like this, that inductor and capacitor behavior are mutually exclusive or just opposite to each other. Like I'm saying, for an inductor, V is equal to L di by dt. So current equation is a differential equation and I is equal to C dV by dt. V is equal to L di by dt, sorry. So voltage equation for an inductor is a differential equation. And for a capacitor, I equal to C dV by dt. So current equation is a differential equation. So whatever the current equation for the inductor will be, it will be the same as your voltage equation. So if you see VC over here, see it is having a positive envelope like this, exponentially rising and decreasing. Now if I jump into your IL, see your IL, it is a positive envelope. Okay, same as VC. This is IL or VC. This is VL or IC. So if you remember one thing, you can remember the other one. Both are mutually exclusive. I hope so nobody is asking. And Zoom meeting is 40 minutes. Please remember everyone. So you need to rejoin for the next 10 or 15 minutes again. Santosh, please write only your last roll number, last two digits. Gaurav Raj, only last two digits. Everyone, please follow this format which I am showing you again. Those who have joined late, from tomorrow, you should enter Zoom meeting through roll number underscore name with no space in between name. Tomagno Chakraborty, no space between this. How will you enter? First name should be 1859012 underscore, and second name should be Tomagno, no space, Chakraborty, no space between name and title. Okay, and you can give your name initials capitals. T and C are in capital. And in your chat box, no need to type full digits, only the last two digits. Why I am saying, you see this chat, don't type twice, huh? Don't type twice.
Joining, do we need to enter the roll number in the chat box?
Yes, you need to enter the roll number in chat box. Otherwise, see, this message will not come. This Excel sheet will not come to me.
No, okay, sir, I'm asking that after rejoining, after 40 minutes.
Oh, after rejoining means no. In the next session, after 40 minutes, if you are rejoining, no need to enter your roll number again. Okay. If you are late also in the first session, just enter your last two digits. Those who have joined late, you just enter last two digits. See, last two digits only. All these numbers are different, means they will come out of the format. I have to check again and again for these numbers. No, if this roll numbers from tomorrow will not get attendance, I am telling you. Okay, only format is roll number underscore name with no space between your Saurabh underscore Mondal, no space between this, and last two digits in your chat box. Bas, this is what I mean. See, all these are different from. So that's why I have marked it different. For today and yesterday, I'll give all the attendances I have marked. But from tomorrow, you just take care of that. Now, going into the topic. Now, RLC with DC excitation. So, in case of RLC, again, same thing. What we need, we have to apply KVL, make the analysis. But when we are doing RLC, write the equation and differentiate it, we'll find a second order equation. So, we need to find out CF and PI, you know, or you can find out by finding out the characteristic equation. So if d square by dt square, d by dt is p, so this will be basically p square plus r by l, d by dt is p, so pi plus 1 by lc I. So you can take I common and this will be your characteristic equation, except the I, p square plus r by l p plus 1 by l c equal to 0. Now there will be two roots, p1 and p2. I am not going into detail about that. So if you take this as alpha, this part as beta, so you will get once alpha plus beta and once alpha minus beta. But here can be two solutions over here, three solutions. See, under the square root there is some value, r by 2l whole square minus 1 by lc. Very important conditions because it is under the square root. So if once r by 2l whole square is greater than 1 by lc, so what will happen? Under root you will get a positive term. So beta will have, once it will be alpha plus beta, once it will be alpha minus beta. So it will be two distinct roots. One will be suppose 5, one will be suppose 10. There will be two distinct roots. So for that we have a solution. I don't need to get for the solution. You just check it. I need to tell you the case. If it is greater than this, it is called as overdamped condition. R by 2l whole square greater than 1 by LC when the square root term is positive. So you will get a waveform like this. Okay, if I consider my steady state at this point, it will be, you will have some peaks, 1 or 2 peaks, then it will reach steady state if it is overdamped. If your steady state is as 0, then it will go over here and reach steady state over here. That depends upon your steady state of the system. Now R by 2L whole square less than 1 by LC. So if you go to this, if this is less than 1 by LC, this is greater, this becomes negative. So you will get a J form, complex root. So it will be a complex conjugate root. When the root becomes complex conjugate, there is a solution comes in terms of cos and sine. So your waveform becomes oscillating in nature, cos and sine wave mixture. So it becomes oscillating in nature, and after some time, distant time, it will become it will become to steady state. And lastly, when this becomes equal. So if this becomes equal, R by 2L whole square becomes equal to this. So this becomes equal to 0. So P1 is minus R by 2L. P2 is also minus R by 2L. So roots are equal and distinct, means same. If this is 5, P1, this P2 will also be 5. So for that there is a solution. You can go through it. It will come like this, and critically damped condition it is. It will not have any oscillation. It will reach after time, some time, to steady state. So we have three conditions in RLC. One is over damped, one is under damped, one is critically damped. So we'll check these three systems in simulation also. Now last, very important circuit which we will be needing in power electronics. Some views of RL transient, RLC transient will be needed, because in DC to DC converter we have supply DC. We need to know the behavior of inductor and capacitor. That's why I told you that one, a revision of this. This one is very important in commutation. Okay, madam will be teaching this commutation, but you need to get this known. Gate problem also comes from this circuit. We have a so what is there in the circuit? We have a DC source. If meeting gets disconnected, join through the same meeting ID. If if we have an inductor and capacitor at my load, and we have a switch over here, and I am also connecting a diode, what will happen? You can go by transient analysis, but Laplace analysis is very easy, because equation writing is very easy. Solution becomes easy. We have done by Laplace. You know Laplace transform. Same, switch on, apply KVL. Diode ideal, no drop. So VD is equal to 0 when it is on. So VS, no, switch also ideal, no drop across switch and diode. So VS is equal to VL plus VC. So VS is equal to VL plus VC. All initial conditions 0. So if you do the Laplace, you will get the equation like this: LSIS minus I naught plus 1 by CS of this equation, 1 by CSIS plus V0 plus. And since input is always considered as step waveform, so it will be Vs by S. Unit step waveform, what is the Laplace transform? 1 by S. So if its magnitude is Vs, so it will come Vs by S. All initial conditions 0. So this equated to 0. This equated to 0. So what are the remaining term? LSIS. LSIS. What is the remaining term? 1 by CSIS. This is the remaining term. IS into SL plus 1 by CS equal to VS by S. So from here IS is equal to VS by S, 1 by SL plus 1 by CS. I have just taken it, brought it on the right hand side. And since you know while solving Laplace transform that the S coefficient should be 1, right? When we solve Laplace, the S coefficient S square plus omega square. So S coefficient is always made to be 1. So I have taken L common and S multiplied inside. So this becomes S square plus 1 by LC. Now LC circuit.
The diode is forward biased.
Yes, diode is forward biased. When the switch is closed, current will flow in this direction. So no problem, diode will be forward biased. No problem.
So when the diode will be backward biased, reverse biased.
I'll come to that. Now you have no charge. This inductor and capacitor are uncharged. Now no influence of this capacitor and inductor. Now Vs is only supplying my circuit. So I have to take care of Vs polarity. Vs, this one is plus, this one is minus. As soon as I connect this plus gets connected to plus. So diode is forward biased. No problem with this. Current will flow in this direction only. I'll come to reverse bias. Don't.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Understood why diode is forward biased? Because there is no charge in the inductor and capacitors. So current will flow from Vs to the load only. So diode will automatically be forward biased. Now if you go through this, you will get an equation like this: Vs by L 1 by S square plus, how many of them? 31. Okay, starting. Vs by L 1 by S square plus 1 by LC. Now, in a RLC circuit, what happens to the resonant condition? You have omega naught is equal to 1 by LC, and XL is equal to XC. So omega naught is equal to 1 by root LC. So instead of 1 by LC, can I write omega naught square? So this square root will be going out. This square root will be going out, and we'll have LC over here. So we are replacing this 1 by LC by omega naught square and multiplying omega naught over here. Why I'm doing this? I'm trying to bring it into a standard form. Okay. Otherwise, you don't have any standard form of 1 by S square plus A square. If it is A by S square plus A square, it is a standard form, that is sine AT. So this is a standard form, omega naught by S square plus omega naught square. This will basically come as sine function. Okay, so this part gives you this sine function, and if you replace omega naught by this one, that is 1 by root LC, and cancel out this L with that L over here, you will get this value, Vs root C by L sine omega naught t. So what I can say, that when it is a LC transient circuit on DC supply, the output current is sinusoidal in nature with maximum value Vs root C by L. This is very important for your gate also. They ask you a question, what is the maximum value of this current? Vs root C by L. So what I have drawn is a sine wave over here. What I have drawn is a sine wave. Okay. So a sine wave with maximum value Vs root C by L. Next, I'm jumping into capacitor voltage. Okay. So if you integrate it, you will get this function. Not going into integration, 1 by C integration of IT dt, you know, capacitor voltage, series circuit, same current will flow. Substitute your IT over here and integrate it, you will get this equation. So 1 minus cos omega t. So if you put t is equal to 0, starting condition, cos 0 is 1. So 1 minus 1 becomes 0. So VC starts from 0. So VC starts from 0. See, as I told you, capacitor is initially not charged. That means capacitor is basically short circuit. What is the voltage across capacitor? 0. Okay. No need to type roll number, Anshu Bharti. If you have typed, don't type in the next session. Type in the first session only with format from tomorrow. Achha. Next. So capacitor voltage is starting from 0. Next, if you put the maximum value, see one cycle, this point is pi, because one positive half cycle will complete at pi since it is a sine wave. Now if you put pi over here, so cos pi is minus 1. So 1 minus of minus 1 gives you 2. So this becomes 2 Vs. So capacitor charges from Vs to how much? 2 Vs, following a cosine function. So from this I will tell you one conclusion. So capacitor can charge up to maximum value of 2 Vs, or the difference in charge is 2 Vs over here. Difference in charge over here is 2 Vs. Now I am telling you one more thing you should remember. Another thing later you will get when ma'am will teach commutation. If capacitor is previously charged, suppose it is charged to Vs, since the difference in charge is Vs over here, capacitor will discharge from Vs to 0 and then again charge up to minus Vs. So Vs, this is minus Vs. So difference in charge is again 2 Vs. Okay, you will see this operation also later, but since it is uncharged, it is charging from Vs to 2 Vs. If it is charged, then it will charge from Vs to minus Vs. Total difference will always be 2 Vs in this circuit, LC circuit. And I'm not jumping into inductor and all, L di by dt. So it will be a cosine wave. So you are getting a cosine wave over here, cosine wave. Okay. Now what happens after? What happens after this? Ball, you are telling
At
anything?
time t equal to infinity, what will be the scenario? The inductor will
I'm
become
coming. I'm coming. Yes. I'm coming. Now next question he has asked, t equal to infinity, which is steady state. That is very good question. I was coming to that. Since we have connected a diode over here, my current being sinusoidal in nature, this is a negative current over here. Can you tell me whether diode will allow current flow through this circuit or not in the second half cycle? Can anyone tell me? Will my current be wave shape?
No.
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 Correct.
No,
So my circuit
no.
after this first cycle has reached steady state already. So in steady state t equal to infinity, my condition of the circuit will be 0. Current, capacitor voltage plus 2 Vs, inductor voltage minus Vs, diode is off minus Vs. Until next switching occurs, until you close the switch and all. In the next, at t equal to infinity, my circuit has reached steady state. Since it is a sinusoidal current, negative current means opposite this way current direction. Diode will not allow this current to flow. So from at pi, my circuit reaches at steady state. Understood? Okay. So what we will do now, I think basically you have understood all these 4 circuits. What we will do now, I'll jump into the simulation part. My NI circuit. I think simulation screen is visible for you all, multisim.com.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Back. Not LC, sorry, RL. I was doing yesterday this RL circuit. We'll just start from this. Very easy. We'll take the results what we have studied. Okay. Just we'll check the results. This I have already told you. Just for understanding purposes, we'll do it once more. That's it. I'll click the splitter so that I'll get the card once again. Now, remember when you are using this switch, I'm telling you some basic things. When you are using this switch, I have told you it is a single pole double throw switch. It is okay, but use a time delay switch. That's why I can give you a time. Use a time delay switch. Okay, see, if I give a time delay, that means this can be given. This data can be given. On time, off time can be given. See, fixed point, you should connect. Okay, I'm telling you, I thought that you people should understand this. I have connected this switch in some manner. The throws are this side, okay, and for fixed point is this side, okay. So if you want to rotate, you can rotate it like this and do it. I shouldn't have told you, gave you some homework, but you should know this one. S1 I have rotated like this, fixed point. The throw is shifting from A to B. Throw is over here. Once it is connected to source, once it is connected to this. So you should place your throws and connect your fixed point very carefully. Okay. So if I go into simulation, I'm not going into the how much time and all. You should. I told you yesterday, depending upon the time constant, I've created it, and I have connected a voltage over here. Voltage. See, voltage probe over here. If you click on this probe list, you can select probes from here also on the right hand side. Volt ampere probe, you can select it separately. Give a name over here. See, VL and I0 I have given. VL means blue color, and I0. See, current axis is this side. Please remember, current axis is this one, and voltage axis is this one. Okay, axis values are different. don't go check the axis, check the axis accordingly. Current axis right hand side, voltage axis left hand side, and x axis is always time. So no need to see that. See, if you take these values over here, it is going like this. Voltage, as we know, it will change its polarity. See, it has changed its polarity going in this direction. Current will remain in the same envelope. I think there is a current. Don't see this -5 and tell me, sir, why it has gone negative and all. Current axis is this one, 0. So see, it has started from 0 only and gone to maximum 0.5 ampere and then drop to 0. So positive envelope only. Positive envelope only. If you bring the mouse at this point, you will get your maximum values. Okay, at this point, what is your value? At this 4.086 microsecond, what is your value? You can calculate like this. If you zoom, if you press your mouse, scroll up, you will zoom it. You can zoom the graph. Okay, suppose I tell you what is the value of 5.98 microsecond. What you need to do is, I'll just show you. Click on the graph. Okay, then you will get a cursor option. Right hand side, you will get a cursor option. Then from your none, you choose your which axis, that is your, you choose your x axis, no problem. X axis, okay. X axis, you choose it. From here, cursor. Suppose I tell you to choose at 5.91. Okay, I'm just shifting this here. At 5.94 microsecond, what is my value of voltage? From here, cursor 1, this is a C1 cursor 1, C2 cursor 2. You can select which one you will choose. Voltage means blue line, current means yellow. See, if I choose voltage, the point has shifted to this over here. If I tell you to find out current, just click on current. It will shift to this point. Current. I am telling you to find out current at 5.94. Bring your mouse over here. Just move it with your mouse and check your cursor 1 value over here. See, cursor 1 value. Bringing it at 5.93, 5. Suppose 94, almost approximate 5.94. What is my value? 4.8702 ampere. Understood? If I give you in an assignment how calculate your value at this point, this is how you should use your cursor and calculate at your value. Okay, and time you can get over here. This is how you can use your cursor. Similarly, you can use your y-axis cursor and get it. Y-axis is only just time and all. These values and all these values you can select. Which one you want to select, VL and what. If you move this one, you will get your y-axis values. I think it is good to use your x-axis. It gives all your values. So remember, use your x-axis. Okay. So theoretically and by simulations, we have got the same results. Okay. We will check the other circuits also. Just go through it very quickly. Just go through it very quickly within 5 minutes. I'll show you your RC DC transient. I'll check see the outputs only. So it's just the opposite over here as compared to your RL circuit. So voltage will be a positive envelope, current will be a negative envelope, and voltage source is, if you can observe that I have taken a step voltage source. Okay, you can take a DC voltage source also, but step voltage you can give your VP, V initial, step time. That's good for using a step voltage. See, our I have given some different values, so I've changed it. What I've changed is, okay, I think I've changed simulation time or something else. Reference. Just wait 1 second. I go to document, start simulation. That one I was checking whether it was reaching steady state or not. Okay, I was changing values of C and all, changing the document time and seeing whether it was reaching steady state or not. Or I have used a single pole, single throw switch and seeing if it is directly connected to DC, what will happen? Circuit will reach steady state. That waveform was showing steady state. So in order to show two states, I have to use single pole double throw switch. See, over here again current this axis, voltage this axis. So voltage is basically, I'll follow the blue color. So starting from 0, positive envelope. Current negative, positive in this case, negative in the second one. Okay. So simulation and by simulation and theoretically all are coming same. Now if you go to next circuit, we'll go to RLC transient. You can use a single pole single throw switch, no problem. Whatever you want to use later. As a volt ampere I have used. I'll go to simulation, can be run over here also. There is a play button, you can run over here. I'll just go to the probe and show you individually what happens if this probe is your voltage. Okay, so voltage, if I do only voltage and go to document and start running this, all calculations, how much time it will run, I have checked it again and again and seen at which point steady state is reached. That's why I've given this one. You need to run
Here R1 by capital L1 square is equal to 1 by L1 C1 because the graph is oscillating in nature.
Yes. Is less than. This is under damped condition. I have told you this is an under damped condition. If you recall this is an under damped condition oscillating in nature, right? So if you calculate these values, what I have taken is under damped condition oscillating in nature. See, this is a 10 volt source. So this is a step waveform, 10 volt source. I have given a delay of 5 milliseconds. You can give 0 also. So it starts from difference of 5 milliseconds. There is a source and it will be oscillating in nature. Okay, and then reaching a steady state. This is a voltage. Okay, since I have connected voltage over here and capacitor at steady state will be what? Open circuit. You can see the voltage at steady state is reaching 10. So capacitor maximum voltage, it can hold the source voltage 10 volt. So it has reached a steady state of 10 volt. Okay, please remember all these things. Next, what about to current? Tell me what will be the steady state of the current through the circuit? Anyone? What will be the steady state value of current?
0.
Correct. No. Current, steady state of the circuit, inductor will be steady state open. So current should be 0.
Yes,
Okay.
0.
Current should obviously be 0. Let's check if there is any other value or not. Okay. See, current at
ইন্ডাক্টর তো শর্ট সার্কিট হবে, মানে ক্যাপাসিটর ওপেন হয়ে যাবে।
না sorry, inductor short circuit, capacitor open, correct, at steady state. So if it is open, no current will flow through the circuit. That's why current will become 0. ঠিক আছে তো? Capacitor open,
ঠিক আছে। হ্যাঁ,
এর across এ voltage হয়ে গেল 10 volt আর total circuit current is 0. See, 0, steady state current is 0. Okay. If you change your values over here, you can, I think আমার মনে নেই 10 ছিল মনে হয়. I'm just checking, okay, what is happening, and change my steady state value. See, it has become over damped condition. See, one oscillation, then reaching steady state. Only one oscillation, then it is reaching steady state. Okay, I think this was 20 as I simulated. I don't remember if it is. Let's just check. Let's check what happens. See, no oscillation, one peak and reaching steady state. Or I'll just show you a voltage curve. See, this is the current curve. Okay. In my curve, what I have shown over here is a voltage. Okay, sorry, this is not current. This is voltage. Current in steady state will be 0. Current in steady state will be 0. These are all voltages which I have shown over here. So I'm changing it to voltage. Let's check whether it is coming or not and do the simulation again. See.
Hello sir.
Tell me.
স্যার বলছি 10টা থেকে এসডি স্যারের ক্লাস আছে।
সরি ওকে, ডু ইট। ঠিক আছে
স্যার এই মাল্টিসিমের লিংকটা একটু পাঠিয়ে দিতে পারবেন? এই মানে আপনার এই অ্যাকাউন্টে এটা পাঠানো যাবে, শেয়ার করা যাবে?
দেখছি যদি পারে করে দিচ্ছি। আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, এটা ফ্রি অ্যাকাউন্ট আছে, খুলে নিবি। এটা ওপেন করে নিয়ে আমার
সাইন আপ
ঠিক আছে। আচ্ছা, 10টা থেকে সাড়ে ক্লাস আছে, আমার লাস্ট মিনিট। হ্যাঁ, এটা দেখলি তো, ইট হ্যাজ রিচ দি কি বলে স্টেডি স্টেট, মিনস ক্রিটিক্যালি ড্যাম্প, দেখ নো অসিলেশন, জাস্ট রিচিং স্টেডি স্টেট। ঠিক আছে, টুমরো উইল ডু এলসি, and just show the simulation and start with power electronics. Okay, ঠিক আছে। আমি দেখছি যদি শেয়ার করা যায়, I will share my account, this means where you can access this circuits. Okay, or you can just try it, no problem, you can just try it. Shubhajit was trying yesterday and showing me. You can try it and tell me in WhatsApp or call me, no problem, with these values if you want. Okay, okay, thank you so much. Tomorrow we'll attend at 9. Okay, and remember, tomorrow please log in through the same thing, roll number underscore name, no space between name and title. Okay, please follow that rule. Okay, thank you.